First Talk. Local guests, local news, local sports. WHKY Talk Radio, 1290 AM and 102.3 FM.
First Talk with Hal Row, WHKY Talk Radio.
Good morning. You're listening to First Talk with Hal Row on WHKY Talk Radio for the Greater Hickory Metro. It is National Travel and Tourism Week. Of course, joining us this morning, as they have for a number of years, the folks from Visit Hickory. And that's actually the Hickory and Visit Hickory and the Hickory Metro Convention Center. Joining us this morning, President CEO Mandy Hildebrand. Also, no stranger to the First Talk studios. We got Sarah Jones in, Vice President of Sales, Marketing, and Tourism Development. Also joining us this morning, some folks that we'd like you to meet and get to know just a little bit better. Elizabeth Sigmund, she is a marketing manager, and Maddy Phillips, Partnership and Visitor Services Coordinator. I'm going to start off with Ms. Hildebrand this morning because we've been knowing you for a lot of years now. Back when you, I believe, was communications manager, was the title for the city of the Hickory.
A long time ago. We were just talking about that a few minutes ago. PIO is how I started. Public
Information Officer. Yeah. You've done that and have moved on up, and we enjoy continuing to have you having you continue to join us. So tell me a little bit about the role of Visit Hickory and the Hickory Metro Convention Center in a general way, and we'll get into this. And by the way, thank you and your team for presenting great information for us for the show this morning for National Travel and Tourism Week. But let's start off with what we do on a local level here with Visit Hickory and the Hickory Metro Convention Center.
Well, our job primarily is to bring visitors to our community, whether that's meetings, sports, leisure destination, which we are continuing to grow into that leisure destination as well. So I think that's our role as we grow and we continue. We want to be the premier place for meetings, sports, leisure, travel, just a little bit of everything. And when we say Visit Hickory, of course, we mean the entire area. As long as we can get people here, visitors do not see city and county lines. Is that not my favorite line? And we just want them to come to our area because they make a tremendous economic impact on our community. And not only that, today we'll talk about some of our partners. When visitors come to town, we want them to go to our partners' locations. It helps them build their businesses. And again, as Sarah and I have talked about before, it is really important economic development to our whole community, to our residents, and just our community as a whole.
Sarah Jones, I want to thank you for joining us, Vice President, Sales, Marketing, and Tourism Development. You join us on a monthly basis, oftentimes with Mark Seaman, of who's coming to Hickory.
That's right.
And y'all are fulfilling that job, that purpose, that goal of bringing people into the area, the primary job. Just one question I wanted to ask this morning, and to the other folks in the studio, I'm going to ask you the same question. When someone comes in and they're visiting you personally, you personally, what's the first thing generally that you take them to? Because I've got my answer for this, and I think sometimes it's a common answer. But what do you take people to if they're coming to the area? Where do you take them first?
Oh, man, that's tough.
That is a tough one.
We have a lot of great things.
Well, just in a general sense. It doesn't have to be an attraction. It doesn't, you don't have to.
Oh, yeah, I can't. Yeah.
Nothing specific. But in a general sense, where do you take them?
Food.
There you go. That's exactly.
Food is like one of my love languages.
Sure.
I don't know if you've read that book, but that is one of my love languages. So they don't list that in there, but.
We have it at the house. I've got to read it sometime.
Such a great book.
I've been told I need to read that.
But food is definitely, if you're listening and you don't realize that, we have one of the best culinary scenes in our region.
Right.
And I would say we give some of the larger cities a run for their money. We've got some amazing chefs here. Generally,
that's where if somebody comes into town, in a general sense, not always, but we're going to go out and get something to eat. Mm-hmm. So if someone's coming in to visit, let's meet at the restaurant. Let's go and put the luggage down. We're going to. Now, sometimes, of course, it's prepared at the house, but sometime during that visit, it's going to. And of course, now maybe they're staying at a hotel. Yeah. So it could be a hotel, and we visit one of our fine hoteliers, or it could be a restaurant. But that's one of the things that I thought of initially. Let's talk with Elizabeth Sigmund this morning, marketing manager. Nice to have you with us this morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Where are you from?
I'm from Morganton.
Morganton. Okay, very good. How did you get into travel and tourism? Tell me a little bit about that.
So I just applied for this job. I actually have a graphic design background. So I started and just happened upon this job, and here I am now 7 years later.
Tell me about some of your duties and your role with Visit Hickory and the Hickory Metro Convention Center.
So I work on a lot of print and digital advertisements.
Right.
Help put together our destination guide that we put out now every year.
Right.
And then a lot of our website and social media. So
the digital background and your major really has paid off in a big way.
Yes,
so
for
now
sure.
the is it the magazine that you're talking about? That's
Yes, the
boy,
destination.
that looks good. You do a great job on that from the front cover to the back. It really does look quite good, and you're able to highlight so many of the different things that are going on in the area. And if people don't have a copy of this at their home, they need to get one. But you can go online and get this as well. Is that correct?
Yes, you can. You can go to our website at visithickorync.com, and we have a link that you can fill out the form, and we will either send you one personally, we'll mail it to you, or you can see the digital copy.
Do you find that us old folks like the hard copy?
For sure.
We like that,
sure.
right?
And some young people do too.
I was going to say, Mandy and I were looking at each other across the room like, we love a good hard copy any day. I like to fold those corners down.
Oh, there you go.
You know,
Right.
like
Little
bookmarks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what y'all call the bookmarks, right? We could do that. We're just not actually folding the paper.
That's right.
But so we get that. We can get it online, or we can get it in a hard copy. But it really does look quite nice. And I know that takes a good amount of time to put together. So thank you for your hard work. It really does look quite good. And of course, we're also going to talk this morning with Maddy Phillips, who we know by her work.
That's right.
But because we actually stole from you one morning, but I don't know what you call it if you call it stealing when you ask permission. But we called Mandy and said, well, first of all, we asked to speak with you, and you were busy. You were out somewhere doing travel and tourism duties.
She was.
And you were not available for the phone. But Mandy said you could go ahead and use this, but it was about coffee shops in our area. And I thought to myself, you might have been a little jittery after you finished that because you visited quite a few coffee shops.
For sure.
But it was great. It was a great piece and introduced coffee shops and places to go in our area and a fine job with that. Tell you what, more First Talk right after this. All right, Marie, you picked a good one there. You picked some nice bumper music because everybody in here is seeming to enjoy that. We're getting some smiles. Everybody having to enjoy your nice bumper music selection there, Marie, the intern. And she actually has a last name, but I forget it every day. What is it? What is it again? You can find the microphone. There you go. You got it. Go ahead.
It's Inahosa.
Inahosa, there you go. I got to quit calling her Marie the intern. Marie Inahosa, there you go. So thank you very much. Great bumper music this morning. In the studio this morning, Visit Hickory and Hickory Metro Convention Center. When we left the program last, we were talking with Maddy Phillips. Where are you from, Maddy?
I'm from Conover.
Conover. How did you get into this line of work?
I graduated college almost 2 years ago.
And you went to school where, ma'am?
I went to Elon.
Elon, very good. It used to be the Fighting Christians. Did you know that?
I did.
Okay, very good. I'll tell you about off the air. Sometimes I spent at Elon when I was younger. Great. You're right there on the railroad tracks, right?
Yep.
Right. Okay, very good. So you went to Elon. Was this your major?
I majored in communications and minored in business, so very broad. I graduated and wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do.
Right.
And my cousin actually sent me a job listing for the convention center, and it all fell into place.
Did you know at that time that you wanted to come back to Hickory, or did you say, wow, I could go because I'm young, I've just graduated from college, I got job opportunities anywhere from Bozeman, Montana to Miami to Maine. I could go anywhere, but you decided to come back here.
For sure.
Why?
Yeah.
Why'd you come back here?
Definitely my family.
Okay.
Can't really be far from them. And I love the Hickory area, so I've always wanted to call it home.
Very good. Now, how about you, Miss Sigmund? You could have lived anywhere in the whole wide world. You've got the degree. You're ready to go. Now, do you do? Where did you go to school? I'm sorry, I didn't ask.
I went to Meredith College in Raleigh.
Oh, very nice. There's some fine folks who went to Meredith, I believe. So I got some nods in here. Maybe. But so you went to Meredith. You could have lived anywhere. What was the attraction to come back here?
I also wanted to come back for my family.
Very good. But also by the two of you being from here, and everyone actually in the room from here, you're able to have a unique view of what's going on in town and being able to let people know you've kind of got the inside deal. You're not having to move to an Atlanta and find out everything that's happening in a certain area. You really do know what's going on a local level. So, Ms. Hildebrand, if you would please tell me what's going to be going on with somebody, because I told you this when I said I want to mention this, and you were kind of like, yeah, but you've gotten so much bigger. But I remember, I don't want to be one of those guys, but I remember.
I'm kind of one of those.
Go ahead.
I remember too. I've been around a while too. So I was like, I remember when.
I remember
but
when.
That's a good thing. We're still here.
Yeah,
we're still here, and we're still really involved in the community.
For me, it's amazing.
We're still really involved.
For me, that's amazing just being around. But I remember when you, as a board member, you would be in attendance, but BB Leach would have a hot dog cookout at the Hickory Metro Convention Center, and people would come by and enjoy. It's a weenie roast and shake hands and gather and just kind of have a little fun. Boy, y'all have gotten a lot bigger than that.
We have, and I remember that time, and it was a much smaller group. I mean, we had our hoteliers, of course, our media partners like you there, and we would pick one day that week and have just have a cookout.
Didn't they have a dunking booth?
We did have a dunking booth one
I
day.
can't remember who was in there.
Somebody ring the bell because that's great.
Hal's used to me going down rabbit holes.
Yeah, well,
so I just had this pop in my head that we
I think I can't
dunking
remember.
booth.
We did do that one time, and I want to think that Brian, who the GM at the Courtyard, I think he was one of those too. But we did it to really because we are promoting all of our different partners, and it's a major economic impact. But it's really about the people. We have more than 2,500 people in the travel and tourism industry in Catawba County alone.
I was looking at some of the numbers that you sent over, and I've learned doing this job over the number of years that when you're talking about the number of jobs and you're talking about payroll and you're talking about paychecks, these are really people involved. These are the folks who are cleaning the hotel rooms. These are the servers at the different restaurants. These are the people who are making decisions on menus and what's being served. The people who are investing their money, their hard-earned money on restaurants. And
people
coffee
taking
shops.
up tickets at the Crawdads or Speedway or it's the museums. I mean, we have the tourism is kind of crosses into obviously hospitality and other things as well too. So yes, it's really important.
Big money for the area.
And we want to let our locals really know, and I think we've done an excellent job, especially over the past couple years. We've really excelled in letting our locals, that's how we started that 31 Days in May years ago, let our locals know what visitors are coming to see, because our locals are our best ambassadors.
Sure.
And that's one of the reasons we really like to this week spend some time not only thanking, but we've really grown. This team has done a great job planning out this week. I'd rather them tell you about it, but we have a really busy week. From visiting our partners to pop-ups. And so
Sunday, I know, was kind of not a lot of pop-ups on that day, but it was the official recognition of the day. And do we want to go around? I don't know if anybody was at these. Ms. Sigmund, were you at the meeting last night, the Conover City Council?
Yes, I was.
Tell me about that.
So they gave us a proclamation for National Travel and Tourism Week.
Right.
And it was neat because I've never really been to one of the city council meetings, so it was cool to see how the process works.
So you were able to be there and be a part of it, and this is part of what you're doing now, because a lot of what you do, digital, computer, you're sitting there working on the visitor's guide, you're gathering a lot of that information. You all are trying to get out and about a lot more this week, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They were at the Rabbit Hole thing, but they were at the Furniture Mart yesterday too.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, this whole week, so yes.
This is the aftermarket sale.
It is.
I didn't even have that in front of me, but now I'll get the paperwork in front of me now that we're actually talking about some of the things. I've got the week at a glance here. There you go. So Hickory Furniture Market, that was yesterday, Conover City Hall. Maddy Phillips. Let's go. We got listed.
Yeah, of course you did.
WHKY on-air segment. And you're going to be, y'all delivering goodies.
We are.
So those must be in the other room. I didn't see him in here. You must have left him in the other room. Well, thank you.
We'll
get into
bring
this
some by later,
when we get off the air. Hickory City Hall tonight, right?
Yep.
So is this now personal question, and you don't have to answer, it's none of my business. But have you been to a lot of city council meetings?
No, I can proudly say last night was my first, and I really enjoyed it.
Okay, so that was up in Conover.
Yes.
And so tonight, Hickory City Council meeting, be the first one that you go to? Mm-hmm. So how about that? So y'all are getting out and about as well and doing a lot of the pop-up meetings and saying hi to folks. And of course, now tomorrow, Ms. Jones, I know you've been to the Hickory Farmers Market several times. You've been
many
down there.
times.
So, but tomorrow it's their Wednesday, and you'll be down there 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock.
We will be.
10 a.m. to 1 o'clock, community engagement. So tell me what you tell people when you're at the farmers market and someone comes up and says, what do you all do? Do you welcome them? Tell me a little bit about what you do down there.
Well, it's kind of fun because sometimes we get locals. Sometimes we get people who live in the region, and I say region, that's our 4-county area. And sometimes we do find visitors here on Wednesday at like 10 a.m., which is really nice. So it depends on who we talk to, but a lot of times locals don't always realize what all we have here.
Right.
And so we really try to say like, hey, if you haven't been to this place, or did you know that this museum is going to be opening soon or reopening soon, or we try to give them information on maybe new restaurants in the area, or they'll ask us questions, and if there's something that we can't answer, that maybe like about the Hickory Trail system or something like that, then we point them in the right direction for answers. But it just kind of depends on who we're talking to. But we love for people to come up and talk to us. We have usually stickers and goodies and things like that to give away. So if you're interested in something like that, come by and see us.
When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more with Miss Sigmund and Miss Phillips about what they're going to be doing wrapping up the week. Hickory Crawdads game, that's always fun. So, and that's part of what y'all will be doing, getting out and about, meeting people, shaking hands. Y'all look lovely today with your branding gear on for Visit Hickory. More First Talk right after this. Good morning. You're listening to First Talk with Hal Row, WHKY Talk Radio for the Greater Hickory Metro. National Travel and Tourism Week. I want to find out more about what's going on this week. We talked about the farmers market with Sarah Jones, who is the Vice President of Sales, Marketing, and Tourism Development. Let's go back to Mandy Phillips, Partnership and Visitor Services Coordinator. One of the things that I thought was interesting that we were talking about during the break is you really do a lot of connecting people on a local level, because Ms. Jones was telling me, and I want to hear more about it from you, is that if a hotelier knows what's going on at the convention center, if a restaurant knows what's going on at the convention center, if all these people are kind of connected, everybody's able to provide top drawer service and to be able to be more connected with other partners in the area. Tell me about how that works in your job and what you do.
I'm really like a partner liaison.
Okay.
And so I will coordinate events like partner meetings. We have them about quarterly.
Okay.
We do a large tourism partner summit, which is our biggest gathering, and we had that in February of this year. We had 2 amazing guest speakers, provided networking opportunities, and it was cool. Even last week, we had a meeting with a partner, and he mentioned how at the Tourism Partner Summit, he made a connection, and now that they're co-hosting an event together.
Oh, very cool. So that's and I said it during the break, relationships. And Ms. Sigmund, you brought it up. You said absolutely positively it is about relationships and people knowing about what's going on and having those relationships. Great example there of meeting each other, finding out a little bit about each other, and then having those partner experiences. So you were talking about relationships, absolutely, right?
I was.
Tell me a little bit about that and how that comes through in the work that you do for the Visitor's Guide, because I always enjoy looking at it. Because here's the thing. I may go into a place of business and my eye does not naturally go to maybe where the photography is done. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I know that place. I've eaten there, but I never really appreciate. I didn't, you see some things maybe that I don't see, and you capture some things that I don't think about. So tell me how that works for you in these relationships.
So when we build relationships with several of our partners, we're able to go in and take photography and take pictures, and they kind of set us up to show some of their great quality of their food items, right, or like their drinks, and then also with exhibitions or things that they have in the art museum or different things like that. And we're able to focus and show those things in the destination guide and social media and our website and all kinds of things. So you're doing a lot of photography? Some we do more social media, but we also have other partners that we work with.
But you've been everywhere, right? So if I need a tip on where to go to get good sushi, you could tell me, right?
I sure could.
Okay. There you go.
And we have hidden menu items, by the way.
Oh, tell me about hidden menu items. What are those?
So this is Sarah Jones again.
Yes.
I'm the foodie. I'm resident foodie here because I love.
Sorry, I should have introduced you, Sarah Jones.
No,
Right.
I know. I love to eat. If you learn anything today, just remember Sarah Jones likes to eat. So, but my biggest thing is always trying to find and share those really unique things that you're not going to see on the menu or you're not going to get in a Google search.
Okay.
So like if I, and I eat out a lot because, you know, my husband, if he's listening, he's probably like, yes, we do, because she doesn't cook. But when you get to know some of these partners on a really, you know, close level, some of these are like some of our great friends. I mean, I think some of these folks attended my wedding, you know, so I mean, these are great friends and partners. But you get to know the chefs and you get to know what their favorite things are and how you can tweak them. And so there's some places around town that we walk in and we'll go, can we get it this way? Yeah. This is how such and such told us. And they were like, yeah.
Absolutely.
And so those hidden menu items are the cool things to share. Sometimes.
So now someone's going to be going to tomorrow after the Hickory Farmers Market. Who's going to the Crawdads game? Everybody going now. Ms. Phillips, do you go to the Crawdad games quite often?
Not as often as I would like, but definitely go to a few games this season.
Okay, and do you like the Thirsty Thursdays over there?
Love. And Dollar Dog Tuesdays.
And Dollar Dog Tuesdays, there you go, because that's our night. Did you know that? It's a WHKY night. Dollar Dog Tuesday, yeah, Hebrew National, and bring your dog to the, bring your fine four-legged friend. You're kind of...
I've taken my dog to the Dollar Dog.
What kind of dog you got?
I have a German short-haired pointer.
Okay, is that a big dog?
She's probably about 45 pounds.
Oh, nice. And so you're a dog lover.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there you go. And how about you, Miss Phil?
I am. I'm allergic, but still a dog lover.
She still has a dog.
I do.
You're allergic, but you have a dog?
A hypoallergenic dog, but yes.
That is very cool. That is, even though you're allergic, you're making the sacrifice and you're out there. So you're going to the Crawdads game tomorrow night, right? Okay, so Thursday, here's the thing. I saw this in the brief that I got, Hickory Museum of Art, and I thought, now wait a minute, is that opening again? And then I saw in the more detailed information that I got that's going to be in Valley Hills Mall. Who wants to tell me about that? Anybody can just jump in and tell me about Hickory Museum of Art.
I'm happy to.
Okay, Sarah Jones.
Hey, so if you weren't aware, Hickory Museum of Art, their actual physical location right now is closed for renovation, which is exciting. We're so excited for the reopening in the fall. But if you're missing the Hickory Museum of Art action, you can visit them in the mall. They're in Valley Hills Mall. On the top level, kind of adjacent beside of near Dillard's and American Eagle in that area.
Okay.
But they have a great location there. They have some art exhibited there, but they also are really focusing on more of the hands-on experiences there, which is
cool.
fun, super fun. We did a staff little retreat there.
Everybody's nodding. Everybody's going like,
and it's so much
cool.
fun. If you haven't visited the team there, please go visit them. They would love to see you. And they've got a ton of supplies and art things, and they're doing all kinds of classes and studio work in there. It's awesome.
So go visit the Hickory Museum of Art. This is something that is part of what makes this area so special and so different. How many cities, y'all said it when we were off the air, Hickory definitely punching above their weight. How many cities, and of course, great things all throughout, what used to be called the Unifor, but the Greater Hickory Metro. I mean, you've got in Lenore, you've got the Sculpture Park, right? Here you have the Hickory Museum of Art. And I don't want to get started because I'll leave somebody out and I don't want to make anybody upset. But you have so much to do and visit in our area that really it's quite incredible. I've been very fortunate that I've lived throughout the South, but it's quite incredible what we have in this area. And like you said, the culinary and all the different things that we have going on. So it must be, I'm thinking, probably a pretty easy job nowadays to be able to talk about what's going on. Mandy Hildebrand, you and I remember the days when there was, I don't want to say not a lot, but this was all coming about. We remember 15, 20 years ago, this has not been an overnight success. This has taken hard work. This has taken effort. This has taken the partners buying in. This has taken local governments buying in to create what we have now for tourism and for visitors. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. Yes.
I'm sorry, I don't know. There you go.
Yes, I absolutely agree. But I think it also takes genuine compassion, patience, and just really believing in what we see the future is going to be and saying, this is where it's going. We're not going this way. We're going that way. And you're right. It's fun to see it move ahead. And I think we're going to continue to go that way as well. We have a lot of new exciting things coming up, as you talk about often on the radio as well. But some of the things that our team's been behind the scenes ready for the new aviation museum and the trails.
Wow.
And so you've got to think that we have all these different niches why people come here as well too. So we just all believe, and we all know we're going to get to where we want to be. So
and I'll just take a minute here before we go to break. I've been very fortunate that I get to see a lot of people in the positions over the years. I've gotten to see people in government. I've gotten to see people in great leaders retire and bring young folks in. It seems like people are in the right places doing the right things. The silos have pretty much come down, if not are coming down.
Yes.
But a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. So let's keep bringing people into the area and let them see what we got. Good morning. You're listening to First Talk with Hal Row on WHKY Talk Radio for the Greater Hickory Metro. Okay, Sarah Jones, I got to ask, who's your favorite Beatle?
Oh, God. You can't ask that.
Okay.
Well,
I
will tell you, though, for all the music nerds out there, because Hal and I know, he knows I'm a music nerd, too. There's a really cool, and I got to give Randy credit for this in our office, but he sent it to me, but Paul McCartney did a segment with James Corden.
Oh, really?
If you know the guy that does the carpool karaoke.
Uh-huh.
But they go back and they look at some of the places that he would visit and stuff. And so they go to one of the salons they used to get his hair cut. Oh. And the lady is like, oh my God, his picture's up on the wall and stuff. And he was like, I used to could just walk down the street. Nobody cared and he said, this is where I lived. And this is where, we wrote this song. And I'll give you a clue in there too. He said, we wrote this song in here. And he said, my dad came in and he was like, yeah, it sounds okay. But I think I would change it to yes, 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 instead of yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh. And she loves you, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Anyway,
probably not the best advice from Dad.
He said we didn't listen to him. So anyways.
Good move there. Lots going on for National Travel and Tourism Week. Maddy Phillips, Hickory Museum of Art, right? We talked a little bit about that.
Yep.
But Sales Original Music Series, you're going to be there?
I will actually not be there.
You're not going to be there. Okay, well, let's go to Miss Sigmund. Miss Sigmund, is that one of the places you're going to be?
I will be there, yes.
Okay, do you go to that? Is that something that you enjoy as a young person in our area? Have you enjoyed the Sales Original Music Series?
Yes, I've been a few times.
Okay, and so it's all original music?
Yes.
And it is the city of Hickory and again, partners who are bringing this to. I think it's a very, very, very popular. Again, I don't want to be one of those guys, but there used to be a different type of evening entertainment, and this has really scored really big. I mean, we're talking about a lot of things. We got a social district now. Used to be you could get arrested for having an open container downtown. If you went downtown and had an open glass of wine, you were going to the gray bar. I know that sounds different, but
not now.
But not now. Yeah. And you're able to go and you're able to get a beer. And so you're able to have a good time. So you're going to be at the Sales Original Music Series, right?
Yes, I will.
Answering questions. You're going to be dressed in the branding. You're going to be letting people know. And if they have any questions, they can come up and ask you, right?
Absolutely.
Will you have any copies, or you'll probably be able to tell them where you can get that copy online for the visitors guide?
Oh,
right?
We'll have several destination guides.
Destination guides, good. So get your program right here. Can't see the game without a program. There
Just look for the yellow. Look for the yellow.
Look for the yellow. Everybody dressed so appropriately today.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to guess, Ms. Phillips, you're going to be at the Newton Folk Art Festival.
I will.
Okay, is this something you've attended before?
I have not, so I'm super excited to go there.
So this is great for you all, because what I'm hearing this morning is there's a lot of things going on with travel and tourism that you all are going to actually go out to touch, to feel, to be able to see, to be able to experience. Even though you grew up in the area, you still haven't seen everything. I think it's a wonderful idea. Well, I want to thank all of you for joining us this morning. Ms. Hildebrand, before we leave this morning, tell me about, what's it called? Postmarked Essential? Is that what it's called?
Yes, every year is with U.S. Travel and Tourism, we follow suit in there, and it's postmarked essential, which really talks about the critical role that travel plays everywhere in the country. That includes here. It continues to make a major difference, as we've talked about before many times. I think of the past couple of times of the past year, Sarah or myself have talked about the latest numbers we have, that visitors spent more than $351 million in Catawba County in 2024. We have at least 2,500 people in the travel and tourism. So I believe it is essential. Not only is it essential somewhere in Europe where everyone thinks about traveling, people are visiting here as well. So our hospitality workers are essential. Travel is essential. It's very, very important. And we just want to make sure everyone in our community understands and knows the importance. And this is a really fun career too, isn't it? We have a great time. Today we're going to be visiting partners at hotels and our different attractions, and it's going to be probably a radio station, and it's going to be really talk about all of our partners, and it's just an opportunity to thank them this week.
I think that's a wonderful idea, a wonderful opportunity to get out and thank people, to shake hands, and to get out and about and meet people and meet some of the folks whose work we may appreciate. That when we see people coming in, we maybe don't think about them, but I hope that you will. I hope that you'll think about the folks who have visited this morning and the hard work that they do to support our community, because it's about people. You know, people want to come and visit, and then a lot of people will take a look and they'll say, this is really the kind of place I want to be. There's so much going on. We've just touched the tip of the iceberg this morning. Make sure that you tune in monthly for Sarah Jones, Vice President of Sales, Marketing, Tourism Development, to let you know who's coming to town and answers that question with our good and trusted friend, Mr. Mark Seaman. So she comes in on a monthly basis. Very nice meeting you, Elizabeth Sigmund, Marketing Manager. Thanks for all that you do. You do great work, and we appreciate it. You represent this area very, very well with the hard work that you do online and with the Visitor's Guide. Thank you very much. Maddie Phillips will continue to steal your... Do we have permission to steal your work?
Of course. I'm honored.
Thank you very much. You do a lot of great work getting out and of course, what you do with the partners and the visitors and making sure those connections are made. So thank you. It's very nice meeting both of you this morning. And, of course, our good and trusted friend, Mandy Hildebrand, President, CEO, Visit Hickory and Hickory Metro Convention Center. Thanks for all that you do and have done and continue to do for our area. I want to thank all of you very much for joining us this morning. Now it's time for the pass-off to On Second Thought with Chuck Boozer. Who's on the show today, Chuck?
Well, thank you, Hal. Good morning, everybody. If you're looking for that special piece of jewelry for Mother's Day, we'll have Melissa Haynes and Dalton Powell here from Oz's Jewelers to talk to you about how they can help you. Also, they're new sponsors of our Oldie of the Day. We'll announce that today, so it's kind of a secret. Shannon Stanbury's here to talk about her bookkeeping service, and then we'll speak with the News Nation reporter covering Nancy Guthrie case. It's been about 3 months, and about his TV special on the missing persons case. And we're talking with two major Hollywood stars. This is no joke here. Mamie Van Doren, she's 95 years old. She's the last of the blonde bombshells from the 50s and 60s. And we'll also talk with a different bombshell, Mama, and her split personality, Vicki Lawrence, will join us, and she's performing in town on Saturday. Oh, yeah. All that and more coming up just a few minutes here on Second Thought from WHKY. Hal, back to you.
Great show coming up, Chuck. That's the pass-off to On Second Thought with Chuck Boozer. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. And a big thanks to Shuford Federal Credit Union, sponsor of today's national anthem. Shuford Federal Credit Union, where it's all about you. Thanks for joining us on First Talk.